So I make a lot of stuff with printers, and I mean tons and tons of stuff. And over the years, I have looked at different ways to either reinforce stuff or use less printing time. And one of my favorite ways to do that is to use arrow cutoffs from archery. And you can find these just about anywhere in the US that does archery. Most of the time they just throw these things away, and they are carbon fiber or graphite arrows. These right here are one of my favorite types. This is a aluminum sheath with a graphite core or carbon core, and you can get these in tons of different diameters and appearances, depending where you're at. And obviously during archery season you get a lot more. But these, as with everything else, has a downside. And the problem is cutting them. When you cut these via using either a cut-off saw or a Dremel, which both are really common, and they're essentially the same thing, the powder that comes off of these things, you don't want to breathe it. And that is an issue. Now, if you've ever been to an archery shop, they have saws with vacuums on the back side, so that when they're cutting this, it pulls all that dust and everything right into the vacuum, and you're not breathing it. Well, I got a bunch of this stuff, and I need a way to cut them accurately. So what we have here is my arrow cutoff saw. Now, normally when you see these in archery shops, there's a big ruler on the top because they need to cut them down to an exact length. Well, for what I can do, I can just mark it and cut it. But the important part is we want a good flat cut. So our arrow saw has a spring here in the back, and this piece moves back. Now I'm going to try to show you this with one hand, although it's really meant to be used with two. You'd have one right here squeezing it, and then you'd have your other hand rotating this to give you a good cut. But what we have is we have it tied to a Milwaukee vacuum, and then we have a Ryobi rotary tool. Go in here like so. Just like that. That is pretty dang cool. And as I said, I use this stuff for all kinds of things. Anyway, hope that helps some of y'all out. Well, cutoff tool.